Okay, lumberjacks and others that have been following my videos. Today I want to show you a device I made that you can put on the wood lathe to do the work of a Ringmaster lathe. In the last video I made a device that went on my metal lathe and produced the rings. But I got this idea one day that I could probably make something that could go on the wood lathe, and people with could actually make one without having to use a metal lathe. So anyway, this is my device. It is made entirely out of wood, out of scrap materials, and what I've done is mounted the cutters on a piece of quite hard wood and held it on with plates, so it actually pushes it against a groove that's cut into the end here and keeps them lined up. Needs a little tweaking, but the first time I've used it I've actually done not too bad. Then the device uses angled 30-degree angle reverse cuts here, as you can see there, and also to make it so it's nice and snug I took these are called gibs, I believe. I cut another piece that goes in there, and then I adjust the tension of that with these screws here. I just took screws, cut the ends off to make them flat, and it was just what I had. And you can take a look at that at the beginning, the front there. There's this is all made of oak, this part here, and screwed and glued down nice and tight. So to operate this, similar as I would do on the metal lathe, I have this a little nut embedded in here. In fact, this end here, you can see the nut there. The first time I did this, I had this on this end, and similar to I had on the metal lathe there, and I cut it off and put it at the other end, drilled a new hole, put a new nut. So now it works on this side. There's a reason for that. Another thing I'd like to note is to support this, I've put those pieces of wood in there because it helps with the cutting pressure there. So this one, and to hold this on, I wanted to just use locally available materials. Actually, everything that on this one I just took out of my scrap bin. And you can see this is a piece of pipe, and a 3/4 pipe gives it an inch on the outside. On this lathe, it's slightly over an inch, but I checked it on a regular lathe, and the full inch fits in a regular lathe, but I had to bring this down a little bit to fit into my homemade one here, because that's a 1-inch hole. And a short elbow and these available flanges, and it all fits together, and that way you can put it on your tool post and tighten it up. So anyway, I've made one bowl with it, and it seems to work fairly well. So anyway, I'll just set this up. There's a little bit of a setup procedure to use this, and I'll show you that now. Okay, I've got this. I've already set this up, ready to make a cut here. So I just want to show you a couple of things that you have to take into consideration. And one is the angle that you have to set this on. Since I don't have a dial on the tool holder here, I just took a square and set it up on an angle that I'm choosing. I believe this one's chose for 25 degrees. And then using the back here, you have you can set. I'll get this on this side so you can just see it a little better. Set your angle there to whatever you choose, or I think you could actually just guess at it, and then I'll show you how to cut the proper thickness of that later on there. Pretty quick here. Another thing that has to be done is down at the bottom here, I put on 2 pieces of wood, so this is at 90 degrees. This, I use just a square to do that. This allows you to loosen your your tool holder and then move it back and forth to adjust for different for your thickness of your rings that you're cutting, and to take the other one off. And I thought this was all set up, but luckily I put my finger on there and that's not tightened down. So everything has to be tightened down securely, or else you're going to get vibration and run into problems. Okay. This is the, first of all I took the outside off to make it nice and flat and round. And then I set my angle and cut the first one. And what I've done here is measure the inside diameter of the ring, and then I adjusted the amount that I'm going to cut off with a caliper here and getting it equal on both sides. I know you can't see that, but maybe you could just visualize that. That way, when the next one is cut off, it'll line up into this part right here. So if I've got it set up, we should be able to just turn it on and start cutting here and show you that it actually works. You have to cut fairly slowly, because this is not, it's all done out of wood, and so you can get a little vibration. Forgot to mention, but you can tighten up your gibs right here with a screwdriver, so it's nice and firm. That feels not too bad. This one takes a little longer than the first one I did on the metal lathe. You have to be a little more careful on your cut. But it actually, if you take your time, I've actually got smoother cuts with this one than the other one. Okay, now that we're going to the other side, I just thought I'd show you the caliper. And I made a little pencil mark around there to set my the thickness of the thing and it also, a good idea here, and I would forget, is to make a line on there, and then you can index all the rings once you've got them done. Okay, we'll see if we can cut this right off here. Have to go the other way. Okay, to get that off, I might as well back this all the way back right away. And set up for the next cut, and then I'll loosen this. I had that really tight, then you can back that off. And I have this, I'm going to take that off. I made this one with this little setup here that I thought it would make it a little stronger, being that I'm using the wood lathe and a chuck here with a wood driver there. Okay, now we'll take this, and that should fit right on there, since I did that simple little calculation there, and it lines up quite good, actually, quite good. I kind of like this method of lining it up. It doesn't take that long to measure it and then measure on where to put your tool. So to cut your next ring, we just have to go through the same process and then slide that in, measure it, and use your caliper again and set up for the next cut. And that's all there is to it. It actually works, believe it or not. So this is something that as a woodworker, and you don't want to buy the expensive Ringmaster tool and you're just experimenting, it takes about a day and you can have the whole setup just out of scrap materials. Anyway, I hope you like this, and hope some of you maybe will build one of these. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Okay, I just thought I'd show you the first bowl that came off that wooden Ringmaster adaptation that I made there. Just experimenting with color as well. I made this one blue on the bottom there, so it actually works. Anyway, if you'd like to see a lot of the projects I've made, you can go to lumberjocks.com and search for Bushmaster.